Previously on Phoenix Wright, Trials and Tribulations.
So Liz Denham was really Maya's mother, huh? She was Misty Faye, the master of the Korean channeling technique. Earthquake! Ah! Oh my goodness, the inner temple! This kind of Telemite! The inner temple! The second cavern in the training hall, it might very well give in! What? Maya! She's gone. No. The defendant, Iris, she's gone. Fortunately, the sacred cavern hadn't caved in. But what we found, something none of us could have ever expected. Excuse me? Hello, I'm Unca Crunk. Welcome back to Phoenix Wright, where some very heavy stuff is going down. Right, is this what Godot was talking about? Yeah, the trick locks. Now then, Iris, please remove these at once. Mr. Edgeworth? I'm afraid I can't. It's not possible for me. What? During the earthquake, when the cavern was in danger of caving in, Iris escaped. And I know that there was only one lock when I last came here. So you're saying that you can't undo the new locks? Yes. If only I was stronger. Edgeworth, how are you feeling? Edgeworth, how are you feeling? You look a little pale right around here. Like you're one to talk with your face all green. Miles Edgeworth, go and get some air. I'll watch over the suspect. You go and get a grip on yourself. Don't be ridiculous. I'm perfect now. There's no telling what sort of mistakes you can make in your current state. Go and get some rest. That's your only concern now, Miles Edgeworth. Understood. I'll handle the investigation in the garden. You take care of things here. Edgeworth. He's got so much pride that he's probably off crying in a corner of the garden. Pride is simply another trap that hinders us in our lives. That said, one must have pride to be effective on the job. At any rate, it seems that this is where we part ways, Phoenix Wright. I'm going to stay here and see if I can't help solve some of these bothersome puzzles. I see. Well, thanks for your help. Now then, do you mind if I ask you a few things, Iris? No, not at all. Why did you make a run for it, Iris? I'm sorry. I heard the inner temple had been severely shaken by the strong earthquake we had. I was so worried. I just had to come and see. In other words, you didn't run away to escape the law. At least we are clear on that. I can't tell you how relieved I was when I saw the sacred cavern was all right, but... But what? Then I saw these chains here. I saw these extra locks that someone had put on the sacred cavern's door and... Who in the world would do something like this? I wonder if Pearl could have done that. Can't imagine why, though. These trick locks are a sacred treasure of the Korean tradition. There are hundreds of ways to set them. That's why only the person who set the lock can open it. And you aren't the one who sets these locks? I don't think it's that simple, Franziska von Karma. When we were here the first time, there was only one lock. But now, somehow, there's 5 of them. What does that mean? It means that someone wanted to secure the place even more. And they wanted to secure it before you got here, Iris. presumably because they wanted to make sure Maya couldn't get out. This means that Iris can only open one of these locks, the first one. Yes, that's correct. Well, at least open that one. What? Iris, try to think, please. Isn't there any way around this? Like bolt cutters, maybe? Well, like I said, there are hundreds of different ways to set these locks. I suppose if I went through every combination with each one, I could remove them. But it will take time, won't it? Yes, about a day if I had to guess. A whole day? Well, may as well get started. Well, that's better than leaving the locks in place. Will you do this for us? Sure, I'll do whatever I can. We've got to wait around another day? Hang in there, Maya. You're going to have to call on your inner strength now. I'm not sure she's still in there. You know what, Iris? There's still one thing I don't quite get. And what might that be, Phoenix Wright? I think it's obvious. Iris, on the night of the murder, where were you? Please, Iris, don't give me that look. You told us that you were in your room at Hazakura Temple at the time of the incident. But you were seen that same evening at the Inner Temple. And then, you were spotted at the scene of the crime in Hazakura Temple too. Okay, here's a question. Has Phoenix bothered to check to see if Dahlia Hawthorne is still alive or still in prison or whatever? Being spotted at both Hazakura Temple and the Inner Temple. It's as if you, Well, Iris, I think it's about time you told us the truth. Oh, come on! Only 3 of them, though. I knew it. There's something going on here that we don't know about. It has to be Dahlia, right? I can't believe it's Maya. I'm going to have to poke around before I confront her, I'm sure. This door. When I was here earlier, there was only one lock, but now there's 5 of them. Those chains. It's almost as if they're guarding something inside that cavern. I've never seen locks quite like these before. I have. I've seen locks and chains just like these before. They look just like the ones that guard a person's secrets during a psych lock. I wonder if these locks are guarding something too. Dark secrets in a dark cavern. Okay, let's go to the garden. Talk to Edgeworth. The cops are still combing the place. They look pretty nervous. I'd be nervous too. It's gonna be a tough job. Hi. Especially with someone giving you the evil eye the whole time. Mutter, mutter. How could I have done that? Wow. I can't believe it's still bothering him. Edgeworth? Ah! What? Hey, don't you dare run away! Excuse me? What do you want, Wright? What I want? If you came here to laugh at me, then get on with it. Go on, laugh away. I was ready to hug it out with him, but he's just the same prideful Edgeworth. You went back to the Criminal Affairs Department, right? You said you wanted to look into something concerning Iris. Yes. And thanks to what I found, I was reminded of something terrible. What? There was something that bothered me about her from the moment we met. I felt like I'd seen her somewhere before. No, wait. Not somewhere. I felt like I'd seen her in court before. So you went back to the Criminal Affairs Department to look for her file? Yes. Checked over every case file I've ever worked on. And I was right. I'd seen her face before 6 years ago. 6 years ago? It
It was my first appearance in court, and as cases go, it was my worst nightmare.
So, who is she?
I'm sorry, Wright. I can't give that information away to a member of the general public.
What? Why not? It might be the crucial piece of the puzzle that solves this case.
The woman I knew was the daughter of a jewelry store owner. She had nothing to do with Iris and Hazakura Temple, and neither did this case. No, that woman is completely unrelated to this murder.
I don't believe that for a second. Unrelated?
Yes, I can say that with complete confidence.
Yeah, I'm not confident. Wrong, Edgeworth. She's totally related to this case.
I need to fill Edgeworth in. I need to explain the connection between Iris and the woman Edgeworth knew. Okay, but first, do we even have her last name? No, we don't. You guys are putting a lot of effort into the investigation of the garden here, huh? There's a high chance that this is the actual scene of the crime. That's why.
You mean because of the writing in blood and the talisman in the snow?
Exactly. As you know, those things couldn't have been planted here after the murder.
But surely
You don't suspect. I do, and don't call me Shirley.
Maya, do you?
We have to treat everyone as a suspect, Maya as well as Iris. It's our job, right?
Yeah.
So, I guess you still haven't gotten over your fear of earthquakes. No. Well, thankfully, my nightmares have stopped. But still, if the ground gives even the slightest tremor, I find myself short of breath.
Well, that's probably why you don't live in Japan anymore.
17 years ago, when we were little school kids at the same elementary school, Edgeworth found himself in the middle of a murder. It all started with that big quake that hit the courthouse. Yeah, so stuck in the elevator with my father, who was a defense attorney. We were deprived of oxygen and we passed out. That's when it happened. That single gunshot shattered my whole life. I lost everything that day, all because of that earthquake. My dreams, my family, and myself.
And then he was raised by his father's murderer.
It's been more than 17 years now. That case was finally resolved 2 years ago, right? You think I don't know that? I was there, but it was such a shock. I never imagined I could be so wrong about myself and my life. I'm sorry, Wright. There's nothing else I can say. Not after you chose to become a lawyer for my sake. Not after you saved me. Edgeworth, you're stronger than you think, so
No more of this self-pity, okay?
I doubt if there's anything else here that I need to look at. I suppose you've noticed that Maya's name is written on this lantern. Yeah, it's pretty hard to miss, you know. Are we sure, though? Oro...
Trying to twist this thing around in my head in a way that it doesn't spell Maya.
Yeah, it's no good. It's written in Miss Denham's blood. She was probably forced against the lantern by the killer. Then with her back against the lantern, she wrote that name with her finger.
Like the first keys in the first Danganronpa.
That's why it's written upside down.
You think the victim wrote this herself?
Isn't that the obvious conclusion?
But why would she write Maya's name? Only surviving daughter?
don't think that's something I want to discuss with you. Yeah. Frustrating. There's a charm or something poking out from the snout. It looks pretty old. There's a leather cord tied to it, too. It belonged to the victim. We're sure of that now. It's going to be in the evidence room once the investigation is over, so hands off, Wright.
You don't need to tell me that.
Well, our dear friend Larry just tried to steal it when no one was looking. He probably just wanted something to remember his esteemed teacher by. A little lantern, a little statue. It's small, but the whole place is incredibly well kept. There's just one thing that's troubling me. Everything else is covered in snow or frozen over. But the ice in this bowl has been broken by someone.
Maybe one of the detectives washed their face in it or something?
Don't be ridiculous, Wright. No detective would be that careless at a crime scene. He's really angry. He'd better not say it was Gumshoe or his salary's gonna pay.
Why is this the only area with no snow?
Someone must have cleared it away. What other explanation is there? Of course, I played the what-if game as well. But when I asked our trusty bungler, Detective Gumshoe, he said it wasn't him.
I suppose Edgeworth has a point.
Whoever cleared the snow away must have had a reason to do so.
I just can't imagine what that reason could be. Well, aside from removing evidence.
These are torches of the naked flame variety. Guess you need all the light you can get up here in the mountains. Accordingly to Detective Gumshoe, they were lit on the night of the murder.
Well, Maya was training up here, so there's nothing strange about that.
Except, apparently they don't like these torches for training sessions.
Eh?
I heard that too much light isn't conducive to spiritual training.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Anything else?
I don't think so. Oh.
I'm finally getting to the bottom of this case.
What? Really? I don't feel that way at all.
I can count on Iris to break those locks, so I should try to gather more clues. From Sister Bikini, Edgeworth, Gumshoe, and Pearls. It's weird that there's no one around all of a sudden. Sure gets quiet up here in the mountains when you're all on your own. Speaking of alone, I guess I should go check out the shack just down the path. Maybe I'll find Larry there sulking again.
Oh, Mr. Nick. Pearls, what are you doing here?
Nothing.
What about Mr. Gamaya? Is she all right?
Well, we don't know yet.
Oh, I see. Hey, what do you think you're doing here, Nick? Larry! This is the Losers Shack, where losers get together to lose themselves.
This is the what now?
Hey, we find comfort in each other's failures, okay? You got a problem with that? Look, Mr. Nick, Mr. Larice did a picture of me.
That's, great, Pearls.
We're gonna gather firewood now. We'll be cooking some half-rotten potatoes over a miserable little campfire. So stay out of our way.
I don't believe this. Why can't he try getting fired up over something, over becoming a better man?
No one believes a word I say anymore. Listen to me, Pearl. You don't want to trust this kind of guy, okay? He'll only let you down. Oh, Mystic Maya.
Larry, is there something you want to tell me about this picture?
Ha! I got nothing to say to you, Nick. My life's here now with Pearl. Two losers cooking potatoes together forevermore. What am I going to do with him?
All right, then, what do you think about this picture, Pearls?
I think it's really well drawn. I can't draw at all, so I think it's really amazing.
See, someone appreciates it. It's tough getting the flames to look like that, you know.
It's supposed to be Sister Iris flying through the air, isn't it? I love it. It's like a dream, a wonderful fantasy.
No, it wasn't a dream. She really flew. I'm telling you, Iris really flew that night.
But Mr. Luis,
Not you too. Please don't look at me like that, Pearl. Don't look at me like I'm some kind of nutcase, I beg of you.
Yeah, I guess this picture really is a representation of what Larry thinks he saw. Okay, so I was... wait.
Okay, so I was half asleep when I was here that night. But I was wide awake after the lightning struck. I saw what I saw. It was exactly like I drew in the picture.
And it looks like I don't have any choice but to take this sketch at face value.
Hey, what's that look of doubt on your face?
Pearls?
yes, Mr. Nick.
I've been meaning to ask you about the night of the murder. Where were you and what exactly were you doing when it all happened?
I was just, well, I'm just a kid, you know. I'm sure it doesn't really matter what I was doing, does it, Mr. Nick?
Sorry, Pearls, but yes, it does. On the night of the murder, you were supposed to be in Miss Denham's room, reading a book together. But Miss Denham was murdered, and you, Pearls, were at the inner temple.
Mm,
Just what exactly happened that night, Pearls?
no. I'm really sorry, Mr. Nick.
Wait,
What is going on?
how long do you go to prison for if you're just an accessory to murder in Japan? Did her mother have something to do with this? That's a lot of locks.
I've been a bad girl. That's why I'm being punished.
What are you talking about, Pearls?
My spiritual power, it has disappeared.
What? Her powers have disappeared? What do you mean your power has disappeared, Pearls?
It's all over from me. A spirit medium who can't channel spirits is like a painter who can't paint.
Hey, what are you looking at me for?
Pearls? Did you try to channel someone's spirit right here at Hazakura Temple? Tried, but failed, perhaps? Oh, did she try to channel Miss Denham to find out who killed her?
Why has this never come up before?
Well, okay, yeah. Maya's not very good at channeling, and Pearls is just a kid, so I guess.
Way to go, Nick! You made her cry, you butthead! That's really cruel of you.
Just as I thought. I'm going to have to break her Cyclops to get the truth out of her. Oh, I doubt if there's anything to examine here. But maybe Larry can tell me about these paintings. Look at this graffiti. Yeah, we did this already. Yep. Nope. Okay, let's go. I need more evidence. I wonder if Sister Bikini is back in the main hall yet. I haven't seen Gumshoe around for a while either. Maybe they're having a cup of tea together somewhere. Bet Gumshoe is Sister Bikini's type. Nope. Uh-oh. What happened?
Well, what's the damage? How is the sacred cavern?
Yeah, it looks like it survived. But we have a bigger problem now. Told Sister Bikini all about it. About the 5 locks that were stopping us from getting inside the sacred cavern.
But who could have done that?
Well, you for one.
The only people who know how to set those trick locks are those of the Korean tradition.
We have Iris at the sacred cavern trying her best to open them for us. Whoa, wait a minute. Iris is of the Korean tradition, but she has those spiritual powers. What the actual what? And why don't we know her last name? Are you not of the Korean tradition? Actually, that's something I've been meaning to talk with you about, Sister Bikini.
Oh, yes. We were in the middle of a chat, weren't we?
Yes, you were telling me how the Master of Korean disappeared 17 years ago. I want to know why Misty Face suddenly appeared at this temple.
It was about a week ago when Mystic Misty arrived. After she showed me the talisman that proved she was the master, she said,
"Someone is trying to destroy the Korean tradition's main family line. I am here to put a stop to them." Someone was trying to destroy the main family line? Oh, it's gotta be, what's her name? Pearl's mother.
There's only one heir to the title of master at any time, and it's usually the eldest. That child becomes the new master of Korean, and her daughters the main family. All other mediums become branch family members with no hope of controlling the clan. That's why nothing has changed throughout the history of the clan. Branch families always have and always will plot to erase those of the main family line.
Is the power of the master worth this much bloodshed?
You believe in the technique, don't you, Mr. Wright? You know its power is real.
Yes, I do. It's been 2 years since I first met Maya. In that time, I've seen her channel the spirits of the dead plenty of times. Well, pretty much only Maya. Mia. During the Master Mask case, and during Maggie Bird's trial, too. Thanks to Maya, Mia's always on hand to help me out when I need her the most.
The Korean technique has made a huge difference to the world, you know. I mean, the ability to commune with the dead, that's true psychic power, you know. Members of the tradition have always been there, behind every important leader. Who wouldn't respect such tremendous skill?
I suppose so, but with all that power and influence, I kind of expected you'd be really rich by now.
Well, you're saying we're poor, Mr. Wright. You're very direct, aren't you? People don't believe in it anymore, you see. All because of one little mistake.
A mistake? What mistake? Mystic Misty tried to channel someone, and during the murder case of Edward's father.
It was 17 years ago. That's when everything came crashing down. All because of that incident.
That incident? Is she talking about what I think she's talking about?
I'm sure the records still exist if you're interested. Looked up, of course. It was called the DL6 incident. That's the name of the file.
The DL6 incident. I knew it! The DL6 incident. I know it well. I handled a related case just 2 years ago.
Ah, that's right. So it was you who was the defense attorney on that case.
A murder that took place 17 years ago. It was the first time in the country's history the police ever used a spirit medium. The idea was to channel the victim's spirit to learn the identity of the murderer. And the medium who performed the channeling was Misty Faye, Maya's mother. Through Mystic Misty's channeling, the name of a certain man surfaced. Armed with that as evidence, the investigators were spurred into action. But that man, he was found not guilty, wasn't he?
That's right. He was. And the case remained a mystery. In other words, we failed.
Yeah, but
The man that was murdered thought that Edgeworth's father had actually killed him. So what she said was accurate to a point. It was the first case the world had ever seen the Korean tradition openly involved in. It was all over the media, the public, the judiciary, the people of Korean village. Everyone judged her. Everyone said Mystic Misty's powers were a sham. And then she just disappeared, vanished, while everyone still thought of her as a fraud.
But I know the truth. Misty Faye's spirit channeling wasn't a sham at all.
Of course it wasn't. And since you managed to reveal the truth, we're finally making a comeback. The Korean tradition is starting to recover at last.
Oh, nice to meet. Nice.
But with a new master wielding the power of the clan.
Wait, does she mean Maya?
The spiritual power of the Korean channeling technique is in the blood.
Maya's told me the exact same thing before.
We, the women of the Fae clan, have always been spirit mediums. It's because the power to communicate with spirits flows strongly through us.
According to Maya, only the women in the family can inherit that power.
Okay, so I'm guessing that Bikini is a branch family member.
And maybe Iris is too.
The main family's bloodline stems directly from Mystic Amy. But with each new generation, only one daughter becomes the new master.
And the ones who don't become branch families, right?
That's right. And it's always the cause of tragedy.
You know, Maya had a sister too, an older sister named Mia.
Oh yes, I've heard of her.
What?
You know about Mia? Of course. She became a lawyer in the hopes of discovering what happened to her mother.
And lost her life as a result.
You know what Mystic Mia is rumored to have said? She said it wasn't only because of her mother that she became a lawyer. She also didn't want to fight with her sister over the leadership of the tradition.
Really?
Yeah, she saw what happened to her own mother, Mystic Misty, as she grew up. I guess Mystic Mia got tired of seeing all the rivalry between her mom and her aunt.
That's right, Misty Faye had an elder sister too. And Misty, having superior powers, managed to usurp the master's seat from her.
Mystic Misty's sister is Mystic Morgan, as you probably know.
Morgan? There's a name I know well. It was a year ago now at Maya's home Korean village. What she did was terrible. It was also she can make her own daughter the next master.
I suppose if you know about Mystic Morgan's daughter, then you must have already realized that Iris.
Huh? Iris? What's Iris got to do with any of this?
That Iris is Mystic Morgan's daughter.
Wait, what? She has two daughters? Iris is what now? Is she kidding me? Iris is Morgan Faye's daughter? Did you just say that Iris over there, whatever, is Morgan Faye's daughter?
Oops, I thought you already knew. It sounded like you'd met one of Mystic Morgan's daughters already.
I have.
I know her very well. We hang out a fair bit. Oh.
Yes, Pearl Faye.
But I always thought she was an only child. George, yes, that child. She's Mystic Morgan's.
What?
I had no idea.
Excuse me?
Mystic Morgan. But she's in prison now, isn't she?
Yes.
Ever since she was found to be a co-conspirator in a murder case last year. It was all done to set Pearls up as the next master. I see. So I've been wrong all this time.
About what?
Mystic Morgan had 3 daughters, not 2.
Excuse me? Oh, Dahlia Hawthorne. 3?
Yes, Iris and her twin sister. And Mystic Pearl.
Oh my God. What? Twin sister?
Oh, didn't you know? It all happened 20 years ago.
I did.
After the clan leadership was taken from her by her sister, Mystic Morgan's life crumbled. It wasn't many years later that Clan's reputation hit an all-time low. When Mystic Morgan's husband realized his wife would never become the master, he left her and the village, taking their twin daughters with him. How awful. He was a jeweler, you know. In the end, he remarried, and that's when it happened. He decided to give one of his girls up to be looked after by us here at the temple. That was Iris, you see.
That's unbelievable. If Iris has a twin sister, could it be?
Could you tell me one more thing, Sister Bikini?
What was the name of Iris's sister?
I'm sorry, Mr. Wright. I just can't remember. All I can recall is that her father was a jeweler.
Well, if that's, that's a clue, I guess. A jeweler. Thank you very much. You've helped clear up a lot of details.
The 2 most likely suspects are in jail, though. I think.
Well, prison. Probably.
Pearls had 2 older sisters, huh? Yes, that's right. No doubt it was all because of Mystic Morgan's anger toward the Ming family.
Anger?
What do you mean? Her twin daughters were taken from her by her jeweler husband. But even that couldn't destroy her dream that a child of hers would one day lead the clan. That's why she had pearls. It seems that the incident here was a result of Mystic Morgan's anger. It was able to break free of the bars that confine her.
So Iris has a twin sister. The plot thickens. This information will be useless unless I can flesh it out a bit. Need to ask more questions. Get some more info. Ah. It sounds like someone's happy. What tune is that they're humming? Love is in the air. Flowers everywhere. Virgins are distinctly nervous. Wait, wives are at their husbands. Wait, how does that go? Wives are at their husband's service. Virgins are distinctly nervous. Oh, no motive, no crime. No motive, no crime. Sing it with me. No motive, no crime. I remember when we used to search in the channeling room in Karain. Whoop! I love my job. Who cares if the clues I find no good? That's not what investigating's all about. The investigator investigates for the love of investigating. It's a passion. Good cases we have, good cases we've lost along the way. I would have never guessed that Gumshoe was into, reggae. Yeah, I did not get that. Every case is gonna be, every case is gonna be airtight. Every little case is gonna be airtight. Hey, Bo. Huh? What? Who? Me? How long you been there? I just got here. Oh, okay. So, what are you up to, detective? I'm investigating, pal. I made a promise to Mr. Edgeworth. I promised I would find the real murder weapon. The real murder weapon? Oh, yeah. That Bob Sword thing turned out to be a false lead, right? I'm giving him my best shot here, but I still haven't turned up any clues. I just found these weird scraps of paper. Looks like a letter or something. Doesn't seem to have anything to do with the case, though. A letter? I want to see this letter. Yeah, about that letter you found. Don't remind me, pal. I'm busting a gut here trying to find a murder weapon. And all I find is some burnt up old letter. Burnt up old letter? Yeah, it was in that incinerator right outside the inner temple. The incinerator? I knew it. I knew I wasn't imagining that. There was snow on the incinerator when I first saw it. But after the incident, the snow had melted away. Which means someone used the incinerator on the night of the murder. What's up with you, pal? I've got it right here if you want to take a look. Can I? Do you mind? Sure, go nuts. I don't want it, pal. You can have it. It's all spirit mediums and masters and stuff. I bet it's got no relation to the case. Spirit mediums? I want to read that right now. It's got to be important if it mentions spirit mediums and masters. I better give it a good looking over and some serious thought. Yeah, make sure you chuck it in trash when you're done. Litter's a crime, pal. Be careful. Once night falls, should be there. As soon as you hear the lights out bell, you must channel her spirit. Leave everything up to her. Did Iris channel Dahlia's spirit? Her name is, she is our, ally? The whole, here's a picture of her. Use it when you channel her. I know you can do it. Once this is, burn the, also make, and don't tell anyone about this letter. Gravely roast the master in the fires of Hades and bring our vengeance to fruition. Okay, Dahlia Hawthorne was probably executed for her crime. It spanned 5 years or 6 years, something like that. So maybe Iris channeled her, and Dahlia, using Iris's body, killed Mystic Misty. So, how's the investigation going, Detective Gumshoe? I don't know if I should be telling you, pal, but I guess I can't hurt. Looks like the murder took place in the inner temple garden. They're taking that bloody writing on the lantern pretty seriously back at HQ. What? You mean? I don't have details, pal. All I know is if you don't find Maya down in that secret cavern, we're gonna be faced with one ugly situation. What kind of ugly situation are we looking at here? You got me. I don't know. They're not my woods, pal.
Then who said it?
Mr. Godot.
Godot? What do you mean by that?
So, what do you know about the real murder weapon so far? Well, it wasn't the shit. It wasn't the barbed sword that was found impaled in the victim's body. Mr. Edgeworth proved that in court today. Yes, that's true. In which case, it must have been another blade. And that's what you're running around like a headless chicken looking for now, huh? Yeah. And man, is it tiring work. But let me tell you something, pal. I'm no chicken. We got the feathers of forensics in our cap these days. We're using the department's secret weapon on this. Secret weapon? What's this secret weapon of yours? Oh, you want to know? You gotta think scientifically, okay? All right. The murder weapon was a sword. Swords are, scientifically speaking, made of metal, right? Any questions so far? No. I know what he's going to say, but I'll let him look smart. So what's the perfect tool for the job? Ha, ta-da! A metal detector. Raise your hand if you didn't see this coming from a mile away. Well, you want to give it a scientific investigation a go? Yeah, me? I've been using this thing for hours now. Gets pretty boring after a while. Why don't you give it a shot? I don't know. Should I help Detective Gumshoe out or not? Sure. Why not? Come on, pal. It's good fun, I'm telling you. All right, then. I guess I'll give it a go. Like I said, this is the department's most advanced gadget. The absolute best. It's so sensitive, you could make it cry. It's so high-tech, you can skydive off it. Oh, bother. So, now I'm going to tell you how to use it. It's possible the real murder weapon is around here somewhere, right? Sure, that's what we're trying to find out. Right, so first, let's turn the detector on. Okay. That's the sound of the metal detector's next. Move the detector around and give this courtyard a good look, you see, pal. Don't worry, this baby will let you know when you've hidden something metallic. And when that happens, press enter to give the area a good hard stare. This thing picks up metallic objects that are hidden from sight, too. Oh, crap. That shitzo next to the golden statue isn't the real murder weapon, pal. Yeah, I know. I just thought I'd check it again anyway. Oh, yeah, that reminds me. You know about that sword? It's supposed to represent the multiple branches that life can take, all in and as one. Yeah. I heard something about that. You know what I think about sometimes? What kind of life I'd be leading had I not joined the homicide division? You think about that kind of things, David? You think about that kind of stuff, Detective? Of course I do. I think about it a lot, actually. Especially every time I get my paycheck. Me as a traffic cop, me as a detention officer, me as the Blue Badger. There's something to be said about the humor value of Gumshoe as the Blue Badger. It looks like there's something round buried in the ground here.
Don't touch that, pal.
Huh? What is it?
It's a trap. People set them out as people set them out to the. It's a trap. People set them out to catch. This sentence. It's a trap. People set them out to catch us detectives. They're real nasty.
A trap for detectives? You mean like those fierce traps with sharp teeth that are supposed to snag your leg?
Yeah, those. I got my finger caught in one of those once.
Your finger?
There was this bit of cheese and it looked so tasty. I reached out and then bam!
I'm not sure I know how to respond to a story as stupidly pitiful as that. This looks like a wallet?
Aha, that's where it's been.
Is it yours, Detective?
I'm always dropping it, so I put a bell on it.
But you still dropped it anyway.
Yeah, but now I found it again, pal.
Your wallet is completely empty.
Well, I drop it all the time, so I don't put money in it anymore.
You know, for Gumshoe, that's logic.
Then how come the metal detector picked it up? Must be because of the bell, I guess. Look, a ladder.
That's a step ladder.
What's the difference? Looks like a normal ladder to me, pal.
Surely everyone knows the difference. I mean, they're pretty ordinary objects.
I've met plenty of guys like you, always picking up on the smallest details. The vegetable store guy near my place does it all the time. He even corrects me when I ask for a head of lettuce.
That's a cabbage, he says.
I'm telling you, they're the exact same thing. No, they're not. They're completely different.
If you try to boil lettuce, you end up with goop.
You have to plant both of them firmly in the ground before they can grow, don't you? Listen, you gotta take a step back and look at the bigger picture sometimes. Otherwise, you could miss a really important clue. That's advice from a pro, pal.
The last person I need advice from is
This guy in front of me.
it's just a pair of skis. Nothing useful for our case here.
I'm actually pretty good on skis, you know, pal. I just love to fly down the slopes with my coat fluttering in the wind.
Really?
I had no idea.
How good are you then?
Well, I'm better on skis than I am on skates, but I'm not as good as when I'm on a snowboard.
That's a pretty detailed answer.
Oh, but you know what I'm best at? Making mashed potatoes and gravy.
What? Guy's losing it. Must be the altitude. We better get back to the investigation. That's odd. Sled's made of plastic.
It says bikini number 1 on the side.
Or maybe there's something under it.
Hey, what's this? A badge? Aha! I've been hunting high and low for that.
It's yours, Detective?
That thing's priceless to a guy like me, pal. Cop can't be a cop without his badge. I'm sure glad I put that dime in there now.
Wait, what?
How did you manage to drop your badge here of all places? I know, I bet it happened this morning. I was playing around with the sled and...
Stop right there. No need to hear any more.
Damn it!
This must be an old panhandle or something.
How you know that?
What?
That was my nickname in junior high.
What? Panhandle?
I didn't have much money back then, pal. I used to bum stuff off the other kids sometimes, so they called me Panhandler.
Oh. Panhandler, huh? I can see that.
Take it back, it's actually kind of a nice memory now.
Okay. Oh, wait. What's this? A pen.
Hey, I've been looking all over for that, pal.
It's yours.
Yeah, my old man gave it to me when I qualified as a detective. He told me it'd be good for sticking in suspects' faces.
It makes you, detective, sound really nasty.
It's my dream to stick it in your face one day, right?
Then don't go losing it. Oh, for crying out loud. Is there anything here worth that hasn't been dropped by Gumshoe? Oh. This is Miss Denham's staff, isn't it?
Scientifically speaking, they're usually made of wood.
But the detector is reacting to it.
Yeah, but however you look at it, the thing's made of wood, all right? Don't bother investigating anything unless it looks like it might be metallic.
Isn't the whole point of a metal detector to find metal where you can't see it?
It's weird that this thing is causing a racket.
Here, let me take a look at it.
Hey, hands off! Examining evidence is a job for the... The top is coming off. Look what you've done. You've damaged a really important piece of evidence. Ah! That's a sword inside the staff. Is this? Could it be the murder weapon?
I'd never have guessed there'd be a sword concealed in the victim's staff.
They call this kind of thing a sword cane, pal. This one's a real gem. The workmanship is really something else. Thank goodness it wasn't a cane sword, or the victim would have stabbed her own foot.
I officially give up on trying to figure out how Gumshoe's mind works. It's a miracle that he's ambulatory, let alone vocal. If the real scene of the crime was the inner temple garden, then why was the sword used to kill the victim found in the main hall courtyard? Hey, Gumshoe. Who knows about the hidden sword?
No one.
Even the police didn't know about this until I discovered it just now. Well, as they say, there's no team in Gumshoe. It doesn't look like there are any traces of blood on it. Then I guess this isn't a murder weapon, huh? No. I'm sure someone just wiped it off after the murder.
Yeah, of course. This thing's definitely the murder weapon. Great job, pal.
And it's about the same length as the Shishishitsu, too. This must be the murder weapon.
Okay, I'm going to run over to forensics. There's got to be some traces of blood left, even if most of it had been wiped off. See you later, pal.
Every case is going to be airtight. Every case is going to be airtight.
Wait up, detective!
Huh? What is it, pal? Pretty busy guy right now, you know. You're going to get that staff analyzed, right? Would you mind holding off for just a easy-peasy little bit?
What are you talking about, pal?
Please. Just until we find Maya.
Maya? What's this got to do with her?
I don't know, but I'm starting to get a really bad feeling in the pit of my stomach.
Oh, how so?
Look, Maya's trapped inside the sacred cavern right now, and, well, we don't even know if she's okay or not. The more evidence and testimony I hear, the more uneasy I feel.
You don't think Maya's been murdered?
Please, detective, let's just wait until we can get inside the sacred cavern.
You're
looking kind of radiant there. Okay. Just stop it with that face, pal. One thing, though. The staff's secret trick. Just keep it between you and me, all right? If it gets out that we knew anything about it and didn't say anything, we're finished. I understand. This is just a regular run-of-the-mill staff. You got it? Okay. Now you take good care of it, pal. Thank you, detective. Don't worry. She'll be fine. Gumshoe? You know, there's a place at the base of this mountain that has some really good pasta. How about I take you there when you find Maya, huh, pal? Sure. Thanks. Gumshoe's good people. He's an idiot, but he's good people. I can't help but wonder, though. What was Elise Denham doing with a staff like this in the first place? All right. Let's see. I want to talk to Iris first or her. Wait a minute. I thought I'd seen that somewhere before. Gravely roast. Pearl was asked Pearl was asking Misty how to read this when she still thought that she was Elise. Oh no. I just had a horrible idea. She physically changes when she channels Mia, so she could have been large enough and strong enough to do it. Oh boy, I hope that's not what's going on. Do I have enough to talk to her though? I might, but I should talk to Edgeworth before I talk to anybody. No, definitely don't want to show him the cane. Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay, she's in solitary confinement. Hey, Edgeworth? Did you know that Iris had a twin sister? What? A twin? You can't be serious. I am serious, and don't call me Shirley. There's no time for jokes, Phoenix. Anyway, Sister Bikini told me, but the problem is she didn't know the name of this twin. There was nothing about Iris having a sister in the files I checked. Well, Iris was taken in by the temple when she was really young. Apparently her sister was raised by her father, a jeweler, I think. A jeweler? Right. I just might know who this twin sister of hers is. I had a feeling you'd say that. Let me guess. Her name is Dahlia Hawthorne, right? Yes, exactly. Please tell me what you know about her, Edgeworth. Please. It was my first court case, 6 years ago. I was a greenhorn, and due to my inexperience, the defendant died. You're talking about Terry Falls, right? You know about that case? You're not the only one who noticed something about Iris and Dahlia Hawthorne. I checked one of Mia's old files from 6 years ago. Yes, Dahlia was a key witness in that case. Dahlia and Terry Falls conspired together to stage a fake kidnapping 11 years ago. They stole a jewel worth $2 million from Dahlia's father, a jeweler. And 5 years after that, she murdered her own sister, Valerie Hawthorne, to keep her from talking. Her sister? Well, her stepsister, actually. They weren't blood related. Valerie was the only daughter of Dahlia's father's second wife. Ow. And this is when she entered my life. A woman who tried to kill me. So after Terry Falls died, what happened to Dahlia? Did you check that out? The does it really matter? Like I said, Dahlia isn't connected with this case. Why are you so sure about that? It's simple. Dahlia Hawthorne is dead.
What?
Well, metabolic processes are a matter of interest only to historians, so to speak.
I knew it. What do you mean by Dahlia Hawthorne is dead, Edgeworth?
Right? I must confess that in reading her file, I came to know of the murder case you were involved in during your college years.
Yeah.
Dahlia Hawthorne was found guilty, thanks to the persistence of Mia Fey.
Mia Fey! Mia Fey!
At the time, Dahlia, it's like she was possessed by a demon or something. It's been almost 5 years since that guilty verdict was handed down, and her sentence was finally carried out. She was executed last month.
Executed?
I'm sure that's a bit of a shock for you, right? And for more reasons than one. But do you understand now? She can't possibly be connected with this case. She's dead, and once someone is dead, there's no way to revive them. There's no way to revive the dead? I wonder. Seems you're not aware of one other connection yet, Edgeworth. And what is that? It's about Iris and Dahlia Hawthorne's mother. What's her mother got to do with any of this?
She's Morgan Fey, a spirit medium from a branch family of the Korean channeling technique.
Did you say Korean channeling technique?
Do you know something about it?
Oh, yes. I know it's connected with that fraudulent spirit medium.
Fraudulent?
I was involved in another nightmare 17 years ago. I was caught up in the middle of a murder investigation. The police didn't have any leads. They were stumped, and that's when they called her in. She was a very famous spirit medium and the master of her channeling school. You know what happened? As a result of her efforts, an innocent man was accused of murder. She and her powers, they were all fraudulent. Edgeworth. Go to the police records room. It's all in there. All you have to do is check the DL6 incident case file and you'll know.
Don't need to check. Also, you've seen Maya channeling Mia. How do you not figure? Have you had?
Of course. How could I forget? Edgeworth was the victim in that case. Edgeworth, you'll understand someday. And then you'll see that the Korean channeling technique is real. Okay. Let's go talk to Iris.
Take that!
There's only 3 of them. The night of the crime. I think it's time you told the truth about what you were doing on that night. You said you were in your room at Hazakura Temple the entire time. Do you still claim that to be the truth?
Yes. That's where I was.
Iris, I believe you're innocent. That's why I want to believe what you're telling me too. But I can't. Because this person saw you somewhere else on the night of the murder.
Oh, right.
Take that!
I'm talking about Sister Bikini, of course.
Sister Bikini.
Her testimony in court today was very clear.
Well, no, I was helping an acolyte with her training in the inner temple, but... Well, as you can see, my back legs ached up violently. So I left Iris to help the acolyte and returned the Hazakura temple.
Sister Bikini didn't just see you, she spoke with you. You two talked about Maya's training that night. So you see, Iris, you were there at the inner temple on the night of the murder.
That's very impressive, Mr. Wright. The acolyte's actual training was due to start after 10 o'clock that night. I left the main hall early so I wouldn't be late.
What time was that?
Let me see. Takes about 20 minutes to walk between the main hall and the inner temple. So I would have left at around 9:40 p.m., I think.
I'm sorry, Iris, but lying just doesn't suit you.
Huh?
Now, you say you left the main hall at 9:40 p.m., but what you say doesn't add up with this.
What?
Let's see. Okay, there. Rang the lights out bell at 10 p.m.
Take that!
You yourself testified to the contrary, don't you remember? You said that you rang the lights out bell at 10 o'clock that night. Plus, only moments before you rang that bell, you were seen at the main hall by the most reliable witness I have.
Who's that?
Me.
Mr. Wright?
We even spoke a little that evening. That's when you gave me this. Surely you haven't forgotten.
No, that's right. I remember.
That brings us to another puzzling fact, Iris. At 10 o'clock on the night of the murder, you were seen in 2 different places at the same time. It's time you told me exactly what's been going on, Iris. So far, I've managed to prove 2 things. First, on the night of the incident, you were at the inner temple. And second, at the exact same time, you were ringing the bell at Hazakura Temple. There's only one possible explanation for this apparent impossibility. There were 2 of you. Damn it. On the night of the incident, you were seen in 2 different places at the same time. Which means there must have been 2 of you. Can't think of any other explanation, Iris.
But that's crazy. How could that be? There's only one of me. It's impossible.
Impossible? I wonder. The way you're trembling certainly seems to suggest otherwise.
You're seriously trying to suggest there's more than one of me? Then show me the evidence. Show me something that proves there's more than one of me.
Take that!
I have a firm grasp of the situation now, Iris. You have a sister, don't you? A twin sister, perhaps? That's right. Dahlia Hawthorne. A woman I know only too well.
I had no idea you knew of her. Very impressive, Mr. Wright. But she's no longer...
Yes, I know. Her sentence was carried out recently, wasn't it? I'm sorry.
Thank you.
There's no need to explain now, is there, Iris? The second you, who was here at the temple on the night of the murder, it was your twin sister, Dahlia Hawthorne.
But you just said it yourself a second ago. My sister's dead. Have you forgotten that?
No, I haven't. Have you forgotten this, Iris? This is a channeling dojo, a training ground of the Korean channeling technique. That night, someone channeled Dahlia's spirit and you knew about it. And that's the secret you've been trying to hide from me.
Ah! Wait a minute, wait. It doesn't have to be Pearl. It could have been Bikini after all. And she just doesn't know it. Or something.
Or maybe she does know it, I don't know.
I was in my room in the main hall that night. As soon as I heard that I'd been spotted at the inner temple, I knew. I knew it was my sister. Dahlia, the other half of me who passed away last month.
Just as I suspected. The iris that Sister Bikini saw at the inner temple on the night of the murder was Dahlia Hawthorne. Why didn't you tell me this before?
But because my sister always does the right thing.
Excuse me?
And because I mustn't get in the way of what she's trying to do. I already betrayed her once before. I can't do it again.
You betrayed her? What do you mean?
That's why I have to accept I may be found guilty. It's the only way.
What's she talking about?
You know about it, don't you, Mr. Wright? About the fake kidnapping that took place here on Eagle Mountain 11 years ago? That was the start of it all. It's what started her down that twisted path. She started to commit crime after crime, and in the end, she lost her life. It's all because I betrayed her.
How did you betray her, Iris?
It was no coincidence that Eagle Mountain is where the exchange was to take place. After all, I helped plan the whole thing.
What?
But I got scared, so I ran away.
What are you talking about? Why would you help her? Stealing $2 million from your own father. That's awful.
But I promised that I'd help. And she didn't do it for the money.
Huh?
It was revenge on our father.
Revenge? What do you mean by revenge?
He was a hideous man. He threw our mother away, then sent her to hell.
Her mother? She must be talking about Morgan Fay.
Our mother was the eldest daughter of the main branch of the Fay family. The main family had a lot of influence in many businesses and political circles at the time. As the eldest daughter, our mother was said to inherit all of that as the next master. That's the reason our father married our mother in the first place, for power. But his plan backfired. Because our mother's sister took it all from her. She took over as the master of Kurain.
That would be Misty Fay, Maya's mother.
But before long, the credibility of the Korean tradition hit rock bottom. The new master, Mystic Misty Fay, made a terrible mistake. It was during the investigation of the DL6 incident. After that happened, our father took me and my twin sister away, leaving our mother and our home behind. He hated the place. He said it was a hick dive and that he had no reason to stay there.
And that's when you came here to Hasakura Temple?
Yes. The woman my father took as his next wife already had a daughter, Valerie. I had no place in his new family, you see.
Ow.
And I haven't seen my mother once since then. Having Master's seat stolen from her and being rejected by her own family, I've heard she's being very battered, spiritually and emotionally.
I think I'm finally beginning to see how the pieces fit together.
I have asked her everything I can in my capacity as a prosecutor. This incident, everything related to it goes back to the history of the Fay clan.
That's what it looks like. Iris, there's just one more thing I want you to tell me.
What is it?
During the incident in which your sister Dahlia Hawthorne poisoned a lawyer, she began a relationship with a certain college student in order to hide the evidence. That college student, have you heard anything about him?
Well, I did hear one thing. She said she hated his guts.
I see. Thank you for your help.
You're welcome.
Hurry up, Phoenix Wright. There's still much to investigate.
Leave these locks to me. I'll open them for you, I promise.
Thank you. I suppose I'd better continue my investigation. There's still one giant secret left to unlock. Pearl's psych lock. Oh boy. Okay. I'm back to believing that, Bikini did it. I refuse to believe that Pearl had anything to... I refuse to believe that Pearl channeled somebody who murdered her own aunt. Look at that! They really did make a fire right in front of the shack.
Oh, Mr. Nick. Ha! You're too late, Nick. If you came here for one of our potatoes, we've already polished them all off.
I think I've pretty much got all the evidence I need. I just need to find out what Pearls is hiding.
Take that!
The night of the crime.
After dinner on the night of the murder, you were supposed to be in Elise Denham's room, reading a book together, correct?
Yes, I was so happy when she invited me. But I didn't go in the end.
You didn't go?
No, there was somewhere else I had to go instead. I was so worried. I had to go. I didn't know what to do with myself. I was so nervous.
So Pearls never went to Miss Denham's room because she was too worried about something or someone else. Pearls, on the night of the murder, you went to this place, didn't you?
Ah, no, that's not what I was trying to do. Damn it! Hit the wrong button.
I have to go through all that again. On the night of the murder, you went to this place, didn't you?
The Inner Temple.
You went here, didn't you, Pearls? It looks like she's still not going to open up to me. This is where you went because you were so worried, right? Then the next question is, who or what were you so worried about? I'm going to take a guess. You can tell me if I'm right or wrong, okay?
You mean you know?
If I'm right, will you tell me the whole truth?
Okay.
You went to this place for one very simple reason, and that is this.
Maya.
Take that!
It's obvious what you were so worried about, Pearls. It was Maya, wasn't it?
That.
You knew the training Maya was undertaking was dangerous. After all, it was a special course.
I signed up for your special course.
Well, my. Quite brave of you considering how cold it is. Young people can be so reckless with their health. Don't blame me if you'll become one with those your channel. Sister Bikini scared you with what she said, didn't she? And because it was you who introduced Hazakura Temple to Maya in the first place, you felt responsible, didn't you?
Thinking about what could happen to Mystic Maya made me more and more worried. I couldn't sit still at all. That's why I decided to go and find out how she was doing in the Inner Temple.
And we're clear now that you went to the Inner Temple that night, Pearls. What's not clear is what happened after that.
Mm,
About what time was it when you headed over to the inner temple?
it was probably around 9:30 when I left the main hall. I heard the real training was supposed to start at 10. I wanted to get there before it started. But there was so much snow, so I didn't get there until after 10.
Until after 10? How did you know what time it was?
Because I heard the bell ringing for lights out.
Oh, she heard the lights out bell. The Hazakir Temple bell's pretty small, though, isn't it? You must have really good hearing.
I was really trying to pick up the sound of that bell, that's all. I didn't want to miss it. That would be terrible.
She was trying to hear the bell? Tell me, Pearls, why were you so worried about hearing that bell?
Ned? Oh,
I think I know why. The reason you were so worried about that bell was because of this. Hang on, let me look at this again. Okay, once night falls, as soon as you hear the lights out bell. All right, this.
Take that!
You were given some instructions to follow for that night, weren't you? I presume you recognize these pieces of paper?
Ah! But then where did you?
In the incinerator at the inner temple. Pearls? You were following the instructions in this letter that night, weren't you? That's why you couldn't afford to miss the sound of the lights out bell.
I'm speechless, Mr. Nick. You're amazing.
These instructions that were found in the incinerator, I believe they were written for you, Pearls.
For me, I didn't know.
As you can see, a large portion has been burnt. But the last section is still fairly legible. As soon as you hear the lights out bell, you must channel her spirit.
Mm,
Who was it, Pearls? Whose spirit were you supposed to be channeling?
mm.
Taking into account the author of the note and their purpose for writing it, whose spirit would Pearls have been trying to channel? Don't overthink it, Phoenix. It's pretty obvious who Pearls was supposed to channel. The person you were trying to channel that night, Pearls, was...
Take that!
It was Dahlia Hawthorne, wasn't it? That was the name that was in the letter.
Ah!
It's just as I suspected. It wasn't Iris whose Sister Bikini met at the inner temple that night. Damn, I forgot about that. It was Dahlia Hawthorne. Do you know anything about her, Pearls? You know what kind of woman Dahlia Hawthorne was?
No. I never heard of anyone by that name before reading those instructions.
I thought so. Pearls doesn't have a clue. She doesn't know that Dahlia is her sister. About the instructions in the letter I found, Pearls. Who wrote them? Whoever it was who asked you to channel the spirit of someone you'd never heard of, you must have quite a lot of respect for them.
Mm.
After all, you followed their instructions without question. So here's my next question. Who wrote this set of instructions for you to follow?
Take that!
Pearls? I have to wonder about something. You didn't have any idea what these instructions meant, did you?
But,
But you followed them to the letter regardless. Why? Because it was your own mother who asked you to. That's why.
how did you?
I figured it out. Person who wrote you this letter was your own mother, Morgan Fay.
Wah!
All right, Pearls, it's time you started telling me the truth.
Mr. Nick,
Why's she holding back from me? I don't like this.
don't underestimate me just because I'm a child.
Huh?
If you're trying to say I followed these instructions, I'd like to see some proof. What? Because I don't think you have any.
She'd say anything rather than to admit to carrying out those instructions. Guess I'll have to produce some more evidence then. One more thing should do it. All right, Pearls. We both know someone carried out these instructions on the night of the murder. But you're right. There's no evidence that proves it was you.
Yeah, I knew it.
However, I do know that whoever did it was a child.
How do you know that?
It couldn't have been an adult. No adult would have made a simple mistake like that.
Simple mistake? What do you mean by that?
I'm sure you thought you were carefully following the instructions you'd been given, but you misunderstood some of the words. And this is the evidence that proves it. Master.
Oh, gravy! Gravy!
Take that!
It was you who splattered gravy on this hanging scroll, wasn't it?
Ah! Dude, why would I do something like that?
You remember what was written in that letter? Gravely roast the master in the fires of Hades and bring our vengeance to fruition. You didn't know how to read the words gravely and roast among others, right?
How do you know that?
Remember the conversation you had with Miss Denham on the night of the murder? Perhaps we can read some books together.
Really? I'd love to. I'm not very good at reading.
Well then, would you like to practice reading with me?
Miss Elise, so, for example, how you read this?
It says gravely. It's kind of a tough word. Sure, Miss Denham taught you how to read gravely and roast. But what she didn't teach you is what they meant.
Gravely sounded like gravy to me, and the only roast I could think of was the food.
And that's why you did it. That's why you covered the picture of the master in gravy from that night's pot roast.
To be honest, I did think it was a bit strange. I guess I really did get the wrong idea.
Just a tiny bit.
I really am useless. I couldn't even burn the letter properly as my mother asked of me. Such a simple thing, and I couldn't even do it right.
And of course, she has no idea that she murdered somebody. Damn and blast. Wait a minute, lost powers? Maybe she didn't. Wait, no. Urgh.
After dinner that night, I did go to the inner temple with a pot full of the leftover gravy.
The gravy?
I saw the picture on the hanging scroll near the sacred cavern. I was sure it's the master of Crane, like it said in the letter.
I see, and then?
Well, it was already way past 10 when I got there because of all the snow. So I went to the inner temple guest area.
The guest area?
Yes, I thought I could wait there until the training was over.
Why didn't you just go to the training hall?
Because Mystic Maya's main training had already started and I couldn't interrupt it. So I just stayed where I was and prayed for her to get through it. But then
Pearls, did you fall asleep?
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. I just can't help it.
Oh, thank goodness. She didn't actually channel her after all.
Ugh. Damn game's scaring the shit out of me like... Ugh. Hey, don't worry about it, Pearl. Who cares if he fell asleep? I fell asleep waiting for Iris, too. It happens.
Anyway, then you found yourself trapped at the inner temple?
Yes. When I woke up, it was morning. I tried not to cry, but Dusky Bridge wasn't there anymore, and there was no one in the training hall. I thought everyone had left me because I overslept. I threw the letter into the incinerator, and then I heated up the leftover gravy, and I lit off some steam by chucking it at the grate.
Oh. And let off some steam by chucking the gravy on the scroll while you cried.
It must have been pretty scary for you, Pearl. I know what it's like. Nick used to leave me behind when I fell asleep at school, too. Don't equate something so trivial with her experience, Larry.
Okay, lost powers.
It was written right in my mother's letter. It said, as soon as you hear the lights out bell, you must channel her spirit. I was on my way over to the inner temple when I heard the bell ring.
So you channeled Dahlia Hawthorne's spirit?
No. I tried, but I couldn't do it.
You couldn't do it.
I've never failed at channeling someone. This is the first time it's happened. I tried and I tried and I tried. Yesterday, this morning, the whole time. But I just couldn't do it.
Wait a minute.
You can't channel someone who's not dead. No. There's no way she could have escaped, right?
I mean, I don't know.
Don't let it get you down, Pearl. It'll all work out. If you won't, I'll come flying through the sky for you. Whoosh, just like that.
So she never managed to channel the spirit.
Oh. Someone else was already channeling her.
Maybe.
Is that why you think your spiritual powers are gone? Yes, I don't know what to do.
Wait a minute. She's tried multiple times, though. Isn't there any other explanation for why you couldn't channel a spirit?
I suppose there's one other possibility. It's not very likely, though.
Could you please tell me what it is anyway?
It could happen if someone else was already channeling the same spirit.
I was right. Somehow, I think.
Someone else?
What do you mean?
Well, there's only one of each spirit, right?
Yup, it's like dating a girl, Nick. You can't see a hot chick if she's already taken.
Then that would mean on the night of the murder, someone else channeled her spirit before Pearl's could.
I'm an idiot. I'm an absolute fluffing idiot. Misty channeled Dolly Hawthorne in order to protect Pearl. She read the damn letter. Of course she knew what was going on. No idea how she ended up dead, though. Someone else channeled the spirit of Dolly Hawthorne.
I'm a failure. I couldn't even grant my mother's final wish.
Final? Her final wish?
Yes, this letter. This is my last wish, she said. So make sure you follow the instructions carefully.
This letter. I definitely need to find out more about it.
My mother is going to a place called a penitentiary.
Yeah, I know, Pearls.
I visit her every month. And last month she told me, "The time we've spent waiting for has come, Pearl. There's something I need you to do for me. I had a letter for you at our home before they brought me here. I want you to read it and do exactly what it says. It's for the good of the Fae clan, my angel. You'll be doing a great thing. Now, listen carefully, and I'll tell you where the letter's hidden." My mother is always nice to me. I love her very much.
Yeah, Moms don't do anything for the kids, right?
She said it was for the good of the Fake Clan, so I knew I had to help her. I mean, Mystic Maya's part of the Fake Clan, so it had to be good for her, too. That's right, isn't it, Mr. Nick?
I guess so, yeah.
There was a picture with her letter, too.
A picture?
Of Miss Dahlia Hawthorne. Usually a picture is enough to channel someone's spirit, but this time...
Pretty weird, huh? Like Larry knows anything about this stuff.
There's something else that was strange about my mother's letter. The seal on it was broken, as if someone had already opened it once before.
Curiouser and curiouser.
That sure is pretty strange.
Someone had opened it already? Huh. Thanks, Pearls. You really helped me out.
You're very welcome. My mother is watching over us, so I'm sure Mystic Maya will be all right.
Look at that innocent smile on her face. What am I supposed to say to her? Ha! Finally figured it out, have you, Trey? You finally realized how terrible of a crime being painfully oblivious is.
Get out!
The entrance to the sacred cavern looks like a freaking puzzle workshop. I guess he's talking about Iris and the lock-breaking effort. But it's all a waste of time.
Why do you say that?
Because my Faye isn't coming back.
What? You don't know what you're talking about. How can you say something like that?
It's your job to protect her, Trey. Just like it was your job to protect me, a Faye. Two sisters caught up in the worst circumstances.
I realize that, but...
And you were the only one who was by their sides. You were the only one who could have saved them.
But I didn't know anything about what was going on.
Ha! What did I just say, Trey? Being oblivious is a heinous crime in and of itself. Tomorrow. We'll settle everything in court tomorrow. Once and for all.
Mr. Nick, is what that man just said true?
It'll be all right, Pearls. I'm sure Maya's alive. You'll see for yourself tomorrow.
Hey, yeah, that's right. I know I can trust you, Mr. Nick.
My dear Pearl. You've done so well, my child, my Pearl. It's better that you don't know what you've done. I knew this day would come for you. The blood of the main family is no more. Now, finally, after all this time, the master's seat is yours. My last great wish. It seems I was just in time. To be continued. Finally, oh my god, I've lost my voice. To the outro! I am so confused. Okay, so maybe it wasn't Misty who channeled Dahlia. Maybe Bikini opened the letter first. I mean, she should be able to communicate with the dead, right? And she is a member of one of the many branch families, so she's as likely to have an axe to grind as anyone else. I mean, the Cyclock thing isn't foolproof. You have to know what questions to ask to find them, so she could get away with lying about certain things. However, Pearl has tried multiple times to channel Dahlia since the night of the murder, which leads me to believe that Maya is channeling her in an effort to control her. It would explain how the locks appeared on the door to the sacred cavern during the earthquake, because Bikini certainly didn't put them there. So yeah, obviously, I have no idea what's actually going on. I guess we'll find out next time. In the meantime, up here's a playlist of my Danganronpa Goodbye Despair playthrough, and down here is a video that YouTube recommends. Also, if you'd like to help support the channel and get videos a week early, we have channel memberships available. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!